You're on.
It is happening. Facebook. We are live in Jay Leno's garage, and the dude himself is here. Jay, this is
That's right. The dude himself. Does it get more English than that?
I thought that was an American thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it's a little obvious. That's my favorite.
I said it wrong.
That's my favorite thing whenever I see Englishmen playing Americans, like in British TV shows. They get the accent. I was watching a show the other night, and they brought a detective from America who was obviously making. He goes, "I've looked around. I was in the kitchen. I noticed the thief appeared to eat the crispy bits." I go, "Okay, Americans don't say crispy bits. Okay, it doesn't work that way."
All right, Rumble, you found me out. I'm not an American. Anyway, this is amazing, Jay. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks. Sure.
How many cars have you got in your collection? This
Oh,
goes
you
on
sound
and
like
on
my
and on.
wife. It's about 150 here, and some are valuable, and some are just fun cars that I had when I was a kid, or cars that were technically interesting, or car companies that went out of business. I just like anything that rolls, explodes, and makes noise, basically.
How did you get into it? When did you become a collector?
Well, I never thought of myself as a collector. I just never sold anything. I would always find a store. Oh, I can't get rid of that car. Oh, I remember the memories, whatever it might be. So I would just store them around town, and then once I could afford it, I got a big building. Yeah.
And this is cool. I mean, we're right by an airport. This is an old airport hangar, I'm guessing, right?
No, it's not an airport hangar because you can't get an airplane through a 12-foot wide garage door. Yeah, and plus an airport hangar would be a little higher.
The tail wouldn't get in. Yeah, you're right.
I always say to people, it's not a hangar, and then the article comes out, Jay Leno's hangar. It's not a hangar. It's just a building. It's just a building that has cars in it.
So do you have a favorite here?
Well, I've had a favorite. I don't have all these cars. I mean, there are cars that have somewhat of a story that, like my 55 Buick, that's the first car I bought when I came to California, and a few of the others. But, each one has an interesting story.
How do you get your cars? I mean, have you got a shopping list? Are you out there actively looking?
No, I usually buy the story. If something is interesting, sometimes a car I might not be interested in, but if someone's had it their whole life and they were born in it, and then the dad gave it to them, and their kid got, something, a car that has a bit of a rich history to it is always interesting.
We're in Hollywood where they have stars all over us, but cars are stars, and in many films too. Do you think there's a what's the best film?
Well, probably
car
the best
star?
film car would probably be Steve McQueen's Mustang from Bullitt. Well, no, obviously the most famous, of course, would be James Bond's DB5, which at the time the movie company actually had to buy because Aston Martin couldn't afford to give them a car. They owned a very small company, and they thought, well, this annoying thing is going to, all right, fine, But that was probably the Aston Martin, the DB5. In America, it was the Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard, So cars have always played a kind of pivotal role in cinema.
Facebook wants to know, what's the one car you don't have that you want to have?
One car I don't have that I want to have. Oh gosh, I mean, I kind of have everything that I want. One car I don't have. Mid-60s GTO would be interesting. 66, 389, tri-power, 4-speed. That'd be all right. I'd take one of those.
What's the difference between falling in love with a beautiful car and falling in love with a beautiful woman?
All right, this is a rather sexist question. Obviously, you get caught making love to the car, you'll be arrested and put in a psychiatric home. That's the in some ways, I imagine they're similar, but you see, in the old days, you could say, "Oh, one's temperamental" or something, but that would, of course, be the car.
Right.
I'll pass on that one.
You don't sell your cars, right?
No, I don't sell it. What we do is we donate.
Would you sell anything for the right price?
No, it's not a matter of the price. We've donated cars every year we donate a car either to Wounded Warriors. This year we did multiple sclerosis, breast cancer, just different charities, things like that. And the nice thing is when you donate them, since it's, people will pay a bit more because the donation goes to charity, So that's kind of the nice part about it. But no, I've probably donated 10, 12 cars probably over the years.
All right. Facebook wants to see inside a car.
Wants to see inside a car. Probably the best one. Well, the one I'll show you, this is something you might find interesting. Now, if you're a Facebook viewer and you're under the age of 30, you've probably never seen this. Before Sirius Radio, before tape decks, you had the Highway Hi-Fi. You can get a picture of that. See that? It's a actual record player in the car.
No way.
There you are. Look at that. Typical Englishman, you show it to him, no way. It says right there, it says Highway Hi-Fi. You take it out, you see the record, you go, no, that's fake. No,
No.
you made that up.
I believe it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. But it was actually quite a popular option. The idea, you couldn't use it while you were driving, but the idea was, you'd sort of pull off to the side of the road and be kind of cool, play your record.
Get the picnic blanket out.
Yeah.
Where'd you put the gas in this one?
Can you find the gas cap in this one?
I mean, I know it's around here somewhere.
It is around here somewhere.
It must be.
Here
It's
it is,
hidden.
right
It's
here.
hidden.
Good day, Mr. Bond.
It's very cool.
I mean, look how much effort goes into designing this and making, I love this sort of period of American excess, I mean, if you know nothing about automobiles, this is an American car, just by the size, and, the whole idea.
So ostentatious, right?
Yeah, the whole idea behind, that's right. I mean, it was, we had won World War II, we were on our way to the moon, the whole deal. So there was a real optimism, and cars had all jet age styling. These are like gun sights, these things here. I mean, that was the idea behind it. It's sort of, you wanted your car to look like a jet plane,
Yeah. How much do you buy the cars for? And how much do you have to spend restoring them? Because you do a lot of work.
Some cars you just buy pieces and you build the car around it, and sometimes the cars, almost any car you buy, you have to go through and do a lot too, just to get them roadworthy. Especially cars that have been sitting in collections, because it doesn't do a car any good to sit. It's got to be used and driven and lubricated.
Facebook knows how to ask a good question, because I know you won't say your favorite, but if there was a fire, what's the first one you'd save?
Oh gosh. Well, probably the McLaren F1. That's the most valuable car, or one of the Duesenbergs certainly, or the Doble steam car. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's kind of Sophie's choice there.
Have any Chevy Impalas?
I don't have a Chevy Impala. No. I like them, and maybe one day, but I don't have any right now.
What kind of reaction do you get from people who come in here? I know we're in Hollywood and it's hard to impress people. I'm really impressed. But I mean, when people come in for the first time, how do they react to seeing you?
Well, most of them are car people, and they've seen, Jay Leno's garage. They've seen a lot of the cars in the garage on the website. So, yeah, I think hopefully it makes people happy and they're pleased. And, the cars all get used. They're not one of these people that, no, don't touch that. There's no ropes around the cars or any of that kind of. I mean, they're still just automobiles and are meant to be driven and used. And we just try to maintain them and take care of them.
What kind of feeling do you get when you're driving these cars and you're really living them,
Well, I mean, it's not so much the idea when you fix something that's broken and now you're driving it, I think it's a feeling of satisfaction. Most people now have jobs which are not particularly satisfying. If you're doing something in computers and you really don't know what your work, how it has affected anyone. So when you take something that's broken and you make it work, you've done something that someone else was not able to do because someone else couldn't fix that. But you fixed it, and there's a great deal of sort of satisfaction in that, It's what I call the sort of the Betty Crocker theory. You know what Betty Crocker is?
Yeah.
Betty Crocker came out with a cake mix in the 50s. He just added water, and you went like this, you got a cake mix. Bomb, couldn't sell them. Then someone said, break 2 eggs and then add water. Oh, and people felt like they were making a cake.
Right.
I mean, you're part of it. Your future, your ability to get from here to here is dependent on how good you are at fixing this and making it work.
Does anyone else get to drive these cars? I'm sure you have lots of volunteers.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm only insured for me. I mean, the guys that work in the shop can drive them if they got to fix something or whatever. But no, it's not. You can't really have people just come over. They don't have a vested interest in it,
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be surprised, especially in the 21st century, with such a big TV star as you are, having been so successful, that you would actually get your hands dirty and do this yourself. I mean,
well, I enjoy it.
love
Like I say, there's a great deal of satisfaction in working with your hands. Show business is subjective. You don't really know. Somebody watching at home, they think you're great or they think you suck. But when you take something that's broken and you fix it, no one can say you didn't fix it. There, you see that? There you are. I mean, your hands need to be a little, as you can see, my hands are a little crazy. Now look at this hand here. See, this is like a puppy's paw. Look at that. You see this, all those little pink pads there. Never did a lick of work in his love, this boy. Never did a thing he did. Bit of a layabout he is.
I'm a gardener,
A garden? Oh, you're a gardener? See, my dad.
That's not manly enough, is it?
No, it's manly enough, but I hated gardening. My dad lived in the city, so when we moved to Massachusetts, he wanted a farm. And, pulling weeds, that was like the worst.
That's no fun.
That was a nightmare thing, And all old Italian guys have to grow tomatoes for some reason. My dad, we got to grow tomatoes. So you don't have to have your picture taken standing next to tomatoes.
More cars everywhere you look.
Cars and motorcycles.
Yeah. What are some of the more interesting motorcycles you've got?
Well, these are Brush Superiors. These are the motorcycles that make fans in Arabia. So there's one of them on there. It's probably the most famous one.
Facebook's asking you about a 66 Ford Galaxy. Get one in?
Yeah.
Are we near? How long is it going to take to walk there?
Well, the Ford Galaxy is right down here.
Perfect. And I love the artwork too.
Yeah, those are all hand painted.
So you reproduce them all yourself?
Yeah, we do them all. That's a nice guy to drive through a cop wall. You obnoxious American.
Were any of these owned by Hollywood stars?
No. That's
No?
This car was the car made my dad buy in 1966, a 66 Ford 7-liter. I crashed my dad's car, and so I found another one and did it in the same color and same kind of thing as he had. So that's kind of fun.
What's the worst accident you've had in a car?
I rolled my mom's Falcon with a bunch of friends who were driving around, and went around the corner, and the car rolled over, and the roof collapsed. So the four of us got up, pushed it over. So the roof was like this. So we had the driveway, and I pull in the driveway. It's like 11 o'clock at night. My dad's sleeping. I go, Pop, I had a little accident. He said, what is that? I said, I had an accident with it. Oh, you put a dent in the car? Yeah. Okay, son, don't worry about it. We'll look at it in the morning. Okay. I'm sleeping. The hell is this? The hell is this? He's screaming. I go, Pop, what the hell is it? My father's furious that we rolled the car.
Very good. All right, Facebook's got lots of questions for you, Jay.
Right.
Any plans to expand? By the way, so where I'm from, it's a garage.
A garage.
So here it's a garage.
It's a garage. That's correct.
Sounds much more fancy.
Yeah.
Any plans to expand the garage?
Well, we are.
Because it already looks huge.
Well, yeah, we're adding a couple of rooms on each side here. That's all that noise you hear in the back. That's the workmen are doing. Yeah.
You ever going to get bored of this?
Huh?
You ever going to get bored of this?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I enjoy it. It's great fun. It's certainly cheaper than hookers and cocaine or any of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's Charlie Sheen's hobbies are way more expensive. Oh my.
Well, Jay, this has been a real treat.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having us and showing us.
Thanks for having me on Facebook.
All right. Cheers, Facebook.